What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Resident Evil Code Veronica X. In the last episode, we saved Claire, fought a boss. Claire escaped certain death twice, because of a lot of bullshit reasons. And Chris managed to beat Alexia. That was the boss we beat. Cool. Everything's coming up Redfield, I would admit. This episode's mainly going to be last-minute cleanup and everything we need to do for the finale of the game. Because there's a few mandatory things that we need to collect and use as far as getting to the end. And there's also a bunch of items that we need to collect, and I would like to get those. This will also be the time where the bowgun is going to get its final time to shine. We've got plenty of fire bowgun bolts. Ugh, that's so nice, being able to just blow things up by shooting an arrow at them. You know, I just realized, saying that out loud, how awesome that is. But with this new part of the facility that we can go into, plenty of goodies, of course, because they want to prepare you for the end of the game with everything they can throw at you. I think I might have to take a final tally. Nah, there's no point. Just know that you'll have a crap ton of ammo by the end of the game, unless you somehow manage to use like 10 grenade rounds on one hunter, in which case it might be time to go back to like Mario. Lo and behold, the fourth wing. That's all the wings you need, by the way, just so as soon as you get that fourth one, breathe easy. You don't have to worry about missing any of them. And I actually didn't know these were up here. Again, you always find brand new things when you come back to a game after years of not playing it, and that, I thought that was part of the console. I didn't know those were like shotgun shells that you could pick up, so cool. More ammo, never hurt anybody. I think I have like over 70 shotgun shells, and I'm not going to use them anymore, so this is mainly just to pick it up just to show you where they are. Just in case, you know, you might not know everything about this game. I certainly don't. And you might notice that this area, this brand new area, looks very, very familiar. And it'll even look more familiar when we go into these side rooms. Right now, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything, and we have to go to the other side anyway, because that door's locked. Of course it is. Nothing back there. Let's go ahead and check in here while we're here. Just, you know, a little sidetracked on the way. Here you go. Finally! A typewriter! Ink ribbons right there, typewriter. If you're, like, really hurting for a save, if you got, like, really messed up by Alexia, be sure to save right here. Oh, there's even a first aid spray, just in case you really botched that fight. And I can see how that fight could be really easily botched, because that can be a really hard fight, especially if she corners you. But this right here, the sterile room key. This is going to be our key to... our literal key to finishing the game. And also, keep track of that name, Lady Veronica, the one who started this entire family lineage, and the entirety of the, like, Ashford family experiments, I guess you would say, the mingling with Umbrella. Her name's going to be very important at the end of the game. That's all I'll say on that. One more green herb, never hurt anybody. And by this point, I think I will go through the rest of this game without using first aid sprays, because I haven't had to use any now. I won't have to use any, so this is mainly just to pick it up, just to be like, hey, look what I got. Here you go. This should look extremely familiar, because in a technicality, we've been here already. And look at that! It's almost like we're seeing double. And look at that! The same doorway still works. This is an exact replica of what we saw in the castle back on Rockford Island. For some reason. And the only thing that they wanted to do was to give you a reason to go back to that... You remember that one room with the spinning tiger? Yeah, that's where we need to go. Because you notice the blue ant and the red ant are both missing their final piece. And if you look closely, that revolving tiger has some pretty looking eyes. I'm going to have to use those. This last setup, it's actually really clever how they put it together. It's not the best idea in the world, I will fully admit, but I do like it. I just wish there was a different way to do it. Because it has to do with essentially undoing a lot of progress that you did just to advance farther, if that makes any sense. So the sterile room key you can use right here, and you're going to notice we're in this exact same spot, the place that looked very out of place. So whenever we take out those pieces of jewels in the tiger's head, you notice we take one jewel and the tiger spins. We can't have that because if the tiger spins, we can't get to the other eye. We can't get to the other piece of the jewel. So what you need to do is shut the power off. I think it actually specifically mentions that it is an electronic spinning tiger, which sounds awesome if it weren't just a statue. An electronic spinning tiger, that's amazing. But you want to turn the power off. Now, normally you would be screwed because you would have to go through that electronic door to get there. But now that you've unlocked the sterile room door, you can actually just go straight in and out and pick up everything. So I think I mentioned before in a different episode that these doors were electronically locked. They're not. You can come straight in, and you have a straight pathway to the sterile room, which means you can just pick up both gems, the tiger won't move, and you have an easy puzzle solved. So I guess for the sake of advancement, I'd say this isn't a bad way to go about it. It's a shame that they had to reuse something from their first game, which at this point, when you're having to fight a giant bug lady, you'd think you've seen it all, but then they bring this back for some reason. Like, this game has been really good about original enemies. Of course, they had to bring the hunters back because, hunters are sons of bitches, and you bring them back just to annoy the player. But brand new enemy, the Bandersnatches. Bringing back the siblings Redfield to fight the siblings Ashford. That's pretty cool. You have this entire deal with insects. So, a lot of good ideas in this game. But then you notice they start to reuse a couple things. Like I would say the worm, the giant worm, that was possibly reused from Resident Evil 3. Not saying it's a bad idea, because it works differently than the Gravedigger. For one, you don't have an annoying boss fight where you have to either shock it or kill it. But the spinning tiger, I don't know why they would use that again. Maybe it's coming to a deadline, because this and Resident Evil 3 were being made around the same time. And believe it or not, Code Veronica was supposed to be the next numbered sequel, because there was a deal with Sony, and post-text if you help me out on this if I get a detail wrong. Basically, the deal with Sony was they needed a spin-off game and a numbered sequel. So Nemesis was supposed to be the spin-off, Code Veronica was supposed to be the numbered sequel. They decided to flip it, and Resident Evil 3 Nemesis became the new numbered entry, and Code Veronica became the somewhat spin-off. Even though it still is in line with the main story, it's still considered a spin-off. Use this jewel, open up that music box, and there's nothing in it. We need the music disc. It's in the other room. Let's go take a gander. Let's pick up that music disc, and if you remember what happened the last time we did this, way back in the earlier episodes, yeah, it feels like an eternity. Grab this music disc, and you know what? Maybe we'll just set off the self-destruct sequence, because this is a Resident Evil game, and the end of the game has to go out with a fiery explosion! It almost happens every single time, with a countdown and an explosion. And a rocket launcher. Can't forget that! If it doesn't end with a rocket launcher, it's not a Resident Evil game. There you go. Turn on the music box, and down comes the top of the bed. That would be such a cruel prank to play on your sibling. It's just as they're sleeping, you turn on the music box, and then the entire top of your bed comes and crushes you. It's like, ha ha, I got you! Why aren't you breathing anymore? Oh, you silly twins. You killed each other again. God, that got morbid fast. There isn't a lot up here, but there is one very important item. This right here. The dragonfly object. This is what you were collecting those wings for. The ongoing theme, I guess, is just insects, bugs all over the place. And this actually has to do with Alfred and Alexia pulling those wings off that dragonfly and throwing them into an ant farm. Put all 4 wings back in the dragonfly object. There you go. Full dragonfly, and we'll have to use that eventually. Because of course we do, because it's in our inventory. There are so many healing items up here. Good lord. Ink ribbon, but we don't need it. I got like 20 back in the box. I think we've pilfered everything in here. If I missed anything, it's not that big a deal. I mean, seriously, I have way more ammunition. I could probably stock an army right now. I probably have enough ammo for Resident Evil 4 at this point. It's like, hey, future Leon, do you want some help, buddy? Because I got stuff. I mean, you just asked me. I'm better than the merchant at this point. Come to Chris's Fine Wares and Weapons, and I'll stock you up, dude. I'll stock you up good. Let's see. Trying to think if there's anything else that we could do. I guess there is one area we haven't gone back to yet. It's very important. Story-driven. Now that we have the dragonfly object, there's really not much else we can do in these final wings. So let's go say hi to somebody. We got to see them all for about, what, 5 minutes? And then nothing. So I would say at this point, collect everything that you need, that you want. Reshuffle all your inventory if you want to. Check in the box. Go back to that one room where the typewriter and ink ribbon was. Save. Drop off all these healing items because I have so friggin' many. Yeah, anything that you don't need, just ditch it. You won't need it. And we're gonna go say hi to Claire, believe it or not. She's in a bit of a mood right now, a bit of a sad state. And unfortunately, Steve did die. I wonder how many people, like, are praising the comments, because I'm recording these in advance, so I wonder how many people are, like, celebrating the death of Steve, even though we haven't seen him for half a game. I was very interested to see how people would react to Steve, and there's a few defenders out there, and that's okay. Like I said, he gets better in other games, but in this game, he's such a whiny Canadian. I'm kidding.
Claire? Is that you, Claire?
Chris?
No! The door won't open. Hey, is Steve with you?
Steve, he...
Listen, Claire. We have to get out of here immediately. Can you unlock it from the inside?
No, I can't. Chris, there should be a self-destruct system somewhere. If you activate it, all the electronic locks might be deactivated.
Aw, man! Well, now I feel bad. She actually really likes Steve. She was one of the defenders. Well, Ellison Court being Canadian herself, I guess it makes sense. But hey, we got brilliant music playing right now. This is really good music. I'm gonna shut up for a second. Maybe I should have done that in a better area, so we didn't have the zombie in the background going clang, clang, clang. This music is great. Well, we have a brand new mission. Claire actually gave us everything that we need. Gave us a card. We have the dragonfly object. We can use it here. Check that card real quick. Release the security lock. So that key is an end-all. It is everything that we need. If we use the dragonfly object, we can get into this final portion, and this is it. This is pretty much it. So what I'm going to be doing for the rest of this video is clearing out zombies. I don't want to deal with them. They don't want to deal with me. I mean, they really want to deal with me because they want some of that very meaty Redfield. Probably tastes good. If you take out all the zombies, this is actually one of the final rooms you will be in. Anything that you have missed, go back and get. Any healing items you need to mix, go and do that. We're actually going to go prepare for war. There really isn't much leading up to this boss fight, is there? I mean, it's just like, your new mission: free your sister because she's locked in a room with her dead like mutant boyfriend. Okay, who she's only known for the extent of like 3 hours probably. Well, that was a long plane flight. 13 hours. Let's go with that. Wonder if there is anything that I've missed because this would definitely be the time. I don't think I missed anything. Oh, I might mention this. If you don't want anything spoiled for you, because we only have one episode left, this is mainly just, last minute prep for a lot of stuff that is going to happen. Still do not look at the soundtrack. Even though this is a really cool song, I really like this song, don't look up the soundtrack for one final spoiler. If you can believe it. In fact, I actually think this is the song. If you look up the song, that you spoiled the last puzzle in the game. So that's kind of cool. You get a little hint if you're looking up the OST. I mean, you're hearing this, and all of a sudden you're going, wow, this is a really cool song. I'm going to look this up. Aw, man, I ruined it for myself. You know what would really help? Is if this final segment you could, unlock secret costumes. I just think it'd be really funny for Chris to run around as, a biker ninja or something like that. Bring in the costumes from Resident Evil Deadly Silence where he became a ninja. That would be hilarious to see Ninja Chris running around, shooting zombies with bowgun bolts. And running and saying, I'll save you, Claire! For the clan! Ninja Clan, I suppose I should reiterate. But Code Veronica doesn't have any alternate costumes. In a sense, there is one alternate costume. But it's not here. I guess I have, one more factoid. I'm running out of things. Game Informer gave this a 9.25 out of 10? Ratings were very different back in the day, weren't they? We're all prepped. We're ready to go. We got weapons. There's nothing standing in our way. We need to save our sister. That is an amazing portrait of Lady Veronica. Next time on Resident Evil Code Veronica X, it's the grand finale. We're going to take down Alexia Ashford once and for all. See you guys next time.